Welcome to Paranormal Nightshift, your home for all things that go bump in the dark and your fan stories told here. Today's story comes from Daryl and is entitled, It Followed Us Home. 24 Hours of Paranormal Activity. This happened a couple years ago. Me, my sister, and cousins went to the graveyard to visit my recently deceased mother and place flowers on her grave. It was the first time that we had all been around each other since the funeral. We placed flowers on her grave and just kind of walked around in the graveyard talking to each other. It was actually relatively nice and kind of normal just to have conversations with each other. But one of my cousins just started to have this really ominous feeling. Guys, I think we need to get out of here. Just something doesn't feel right. The moment the words left his mouth, the atmosphere changed. Everything became cold, oppressing, and dark, and we were ready to leave. The drive home wasn't any better. The moment we got in the car, everyone's attitude changed. This recently very happy family, we were all on pins and needles. Everybody was like agitated. Everybody was angry with each other. Everybody was so short and so mad. Every little thing was setting us off. This family that just 20 minutes ago was enjoying each other's company, we're all at each other's throats, yelling and cursing at each other over nonsense. I had put this whole thing together so everybody was coming back to stay at my house. Now all of a sudden I didn't want anyone there. I was so mad that they were going to be there. And the energy in the house, it felt dark. It felt oppressing. We continued to hear things all throughout the night. Bumps and clicks and bangs. We continued to see shadows out of the corner of our eyes. What went from anger now turned into fear. All of us were just so scared. Lights began to flicker on and off in the house. We all gathered together in the living room trying to figure out what was going on. If we all heard and saw the same things happening. It went on like that all night. We continued to have books fall off the shelves, plates coming out of the cupboards, and all of us had the most terrifying paranormal experience that you could ever think of. Anything that you would have seen in a movie, anything that you would have seen or could describe, or that you might have read in a book, it was all happening, and it was all happening here so fast. It all escalated so quickly. We had no idea what was causing it. And we were all so bitter and all so mad at each other. Thank God for my sister. Common sense started to prevail. Questions were being asked. Did anybody do anything? Look, I'm not saying that anybody did or didn't do anything, but did anybody do something they weren't supposed to? Was anybody disrespectful? Did anybody do anything at the graveyard? Something is happening here, and we have to have answers. My cousin raised her hand. In her pocket, she had taken a sketch of one of the headstones. You know how you take a crown or a piece of paper and go across the headstone? That's what she had done, and she had kept the paper with her. We later found out the headstone was for someone that you shouldn't have done that to. My sister and I both took the piece of paper and threw it into the fireplace and lit it. The moment the paper was burned, everything in the house went back to normal. It was like we were all in some sort of angry trance. For 24 hours, we were tormented by whatever this was. Something had followed us home. We still go visit my mom. We still put flowers on her grave. But we are very respectful when we go. Sometimes cemeteries don't just hold your loved ones. Sometimes they can hold captive things that no one wanted around in the first place.